for those of you that have maybe been watching or going on social media and seeing some amazing individuals doing some amazing and wonderful things, there's always that question, how did they do it, or how are they doing it? And for a lot of us, we're like, you know what, it'd be kind of neat to kind of, look through their window, their business window, and get a real perspective of what their business looks like. And again, I want to be clear, this is not in a creepy way. It's actually in a nice way, as creeping through the window to learn a little bit about their business. And I know for a lot of people, this is something that would be very interesting to see, because sometimes it's not all sunshine and roses like they show on social media. Maybe it is a little bit, but I think for a lot of people, some of the real great lessons is learning about people's success stories, some of their challenges, and even some of the lessons learned along the way. And so this is what we have brought to the table. I'm very excited to launch this brand new segment that we're calling Student Spotlight to our YouTube viewers. These are past Elevate MasterClass students that have taken some incredible action out there. And I thought I'd bring these individuals out to share a little bit about their investment journey to date. The point of this learning is just to share a little bit about their experience, for all of you guys to learn, again, creeping a little bit behind that window and just taking a real good look about some of the lessons that they've learned, so it can hopefully help you with your guys' business as well. So with that being said, I am very excited to be announcing this today. We are very, very excited to have Kevin and Nadine Russell from Income Stream joining us on this call. Now, before we kind of get started, if you haven't had the opportunity to yet, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this video, and please post any comments that you want. We're more than happy to answer them. And please help us grow our YouTube channel. So without further ado, let's bring in Kevin and Nadine Russell from Income Stream. Hey guys, how are you doing today?
Good, Michael. How are you doing?
It's great to see you both again. Wonderful.
Good to see you.
Very good. So first of all, I just want to thank you guys for joining in and sharing a little bit of this information with our fellow savvy investors. And more importantly, I think it's really, really important. A lot of people have seen you guys on social media. I know I have, and I'm very, very proud of you guys, especially in the journey that you guys have gone through. For those that don't necessarily know who you are, maybe you can share a little bit about who you are and how long you guys been investing in real estate for, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I'm Kevin Russell, and we started Income Stream a number of years ago. In all honesty, I was a golf pro for 20 plus years, and I was also a ski pro. And about 7 years ago, I decided to make a little bit of a career change, and I started a general contracting company. And that general contracting company has led us into real estate and doing, through renovations, through all different aspects of it. And that was kind of our starting into real estate investing.
Fantastic. So how long have you guys been investing in real estate for? How many years has it been now?
So I'd say we've been investing for about 7 to 8 years, mostly doing flips in the kind of first 5 years. And then about 3 years ago, we transitioned over looking at long-term buy and holds and understanding and realizing that we could actually invest out of province. And so that set us, I think, on a new direction and a new path when it came to real estate investing.
How was that obstacle to kind of overcome? Because initially, just for those that don't know, Kevin and Nadine were initially from Ontario, and now they've moved over to Alberta. Was that a big hurdle or obstacle to get over in regards to investing to a completely different market like that?
I don't think so. And I think partly that was because of COVID. So we started investing through the COVID timeframe out of province and looked at both New Brunswick and Alberta. We started in New Brunswick, Moncton, and St. John, and just felt that so much was happening through technology that it became fairly easy. We did everything through video. We did video walkthroughs. We purchased most of our initial buildings and properties we did via video. And so it just became a fairly easy transition because of what I think COVID taught a lot of people is how much you can actually do from afar. But what I would say is that prior to, that time frame when we decided to switch to out of province investing, it never crossed our mind. We always thought, okay, what can we do in Ontario? And the limitations and restrictions around that. So that was a really key learning for us to realize that, the world is your oyster. Like there's just so much possibility out there when you realize that you don't have to just invest in your backyard.
So good. So very good, guys. Well done. That's awesome. So you kind of shared a little bit about your journey, about what you've done, but maybe you can kind of elaborate a little bit more. So you started off with fix and flips. Tell us a little bit about what's kind of transpired over the last 6, 7, 8 years. And just maybe you can share a little bit about the goods, the bads, the uglies of your guys' investment journey, if you don't mind.
Yeah, so I would say, you know, since we've been married, every house that we've had, we've always updated. And whether it's, you know, complete new kitchens or new flooring, new paint, whatever it be. So it kind of gave the background leading into the general contracting career that I started. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest, it was kind of out of the blue. Like it was just one of those things where I was just kind of getting a little bit tired of what I was doing day in, day out. It's the same thing over and over again. So I started a contracting company, which kind of felt natural. And I just leaned on my past experience, and we started flipping houses in Barrie, Ontario. And, you know, it felt good. It felt natural. And we enjoyed it. And we enjoyed, Nadine really likes the design aspect and all the colors and helping out in that regard. And of course, she's great at finding the properties. And we found a couple that really kicked things off for us, and we enjoyed it. And you know, obviously, a lot of long hours, and like you said at the beginning, it's not always easy. Sometimes there's a lot of challenges, and we've certainly found them in flipping houses. And things don't always work out. The market changes. I mean, you can be in a situation where it looks great when you start, and maybe in one case in particular, we bought a second home, and the first one wasn't even finished. And then all of a sudden the market started to drop. And so those are challenges that you face that, you know, you just have to be prepared and be ready for the ups and downs, because there is a lot of them.
Yeah. And I think for a lot of people in this market right now, well, currently, you know, people are in that situation today and feeling a little bit of a pinch, right? And so I think this is where it's good to reach out to individuals that have been through that kind of stuff before. And I think you've nailed it right on the money. It's just like, you need to kind of prepare for worst case scenario no matter what. And that's just part of this business. And you can't shortchange that there are going to be challenges that are going to happen in the market, right? So very cool. So tell us a little bit about what's your focus now? What's your investment strategy that you guys are putting a lot of attention to at this point, and why?
Yeah, I think we've kind of narrowed it down to 3 key areas or strategies that we've been focused on. One is multifamily apartment buildings, and I'll explain kind of why after each one of them. But the first one is multifamily. The second is short-term rentals. And then the third one is really legalizing, I guess you could say, basement suites, whether that's from a single family home or whether that's taking a side-by-side duplex and turning it into a fourplex. But I think that the reason that we focused on those is for different reasons. So multifamily, you know, we really love what we learned actually in your course, Michael, through Savvy Investor and the whole multifamily component of it, and understanding, you know, NOI, net operating income, and cap rates, and what that can deliver from a value standpoint. And we love the fact that it's not necessarily dependent on where you are in the market cycle. So you can add value and force appreciation just by, you know, doing improvements to it, whether it's renovations, whether it's raising rents, you know, adding parking fees, you know, pet fees, whatever that looks like. And so we really liked that aspect, that it kind of protects you from, you know, the various cycles that can happen in real estate. So that's kind of the first one. The second is short-term rentals. And we started in Canmore, Alberta, and have been focused there and hoping to actually get down to Phoenix and do some short-term rentals there. We did some research, did a research trip, I guess, a couple of weeks ago, and that was awesome. But the reason that we've been focused on short-term rentals as kind of a second pillar for us is that it does deliver strong cash flow. And so even with interest rates being higher, it's still allowing us to generate positive cash flow. And so, you know, as you kind of look at your portfolio and diversifying and having various aspects of it, we thought that that was an important one. And then the last one is this whole legalization of basement suites. And obviously with Kevin's contracting background, it's a really good fit for us in terms of finding those opportunities where you can add value. And it seems as affordability is becoming a challenge, interest rates being higher, people are always looking for places where they have these legal suites. It can help them, with their mortgages, whether it's a single family home where you've added a legal suite. So we think that the value in that type of a property will always be there. And so we like the fact that, that's kind of helping round out and providing that added value to generate profit.
Fantastic. And I don't know if anybody's paying attention to this, but they've really built kind of a true business model out of this, or business, because they've taken the multifamily component, and correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but the multifamily is kind of the equity components of the business, where you can do some of the work, get a lot of that capital increase because of increasing your net operating income, increasing valuation, possibly refinance, possibly selling it. And I think you're doing the same thing in the single family, or are you guys keeping it as well with the suite, with the putting the suites in the basement? Are you guys selling those, or are you guys keeping them?
We have sold one, but the plan is for the most part to keep them, hold on to them.
Yeah, very good. And then the big one is the cash flow component, especially during these crazy challenging times. Is cash flow is obviously king, and you found a strategy where you kind of get the best of all worlds. You're looking at multiple different strategies, different approaches, but you've diversified the way your business looks at. And I'm sure you guys have a specific way, a specific property idea of what you're looking for before you're jumping in, correct?
We do. And we, I heard this at a real estate event one night, and they talked about having diversification within your portfolio. And many years ago, you could get away with doing a 2x2, 2 strategies by 2 markets. And so now we have focused on a 3x3. So we kind of have our 3 pillars in terms of the type of properties and strategies that we're going after. And we want to do that in at least 3 markets. So we obviously are in New Brunswick, we're in Alberta, and a couple of different cities within that. And we do anticipate going to the US and picking 1 or 2 markets down there.
Different markets, different strategies, very diversified, and you're mitigating a lot of risk. I think that's fantastic. So, you know what? It sounds all sunshines and roses, right? And because it always is, right, guys? That's the way it is. It's always sunshines and roses.
No.
No. And I think part of this is for a lot of people right now, and they're maybe watching this and they're like, oh, you know what? Income Stream's got it all together and all this wonderful stuff. And sometimes it feels like that. And during these challenging times, we can always feel a little bit bad about ourselves because, you know what, it's challenging. It's not easy for a lot of people right now. And I've talked to a lot of different individuals and investors out there. So maybe if you wouldn't mind sharing, maybe what are some of the lessons you've learned so far in your journey? And it doesn't have to be the most ugly, and I'm sure there's 1 or 2, but maybe you wouldn't mind sharing a lesson that has really resonated for you guys that really sticks out.
Yeah, I think one of the key lessons that we've learned is around joint venture agreements and partnerships. And, you know in your head what you're supposed to do, and that is to always get the joint venture agreement signed first. And despite multiple efforts on our part, we ran into a situation where we did not have that. And it just creates some tension that, you otherwise wouldn't have had we got to that place. And, there were various reasons, which I won't get into, why we didn't. And we were trying to be, helpful to this other person, but it just didn't turn out that way, that we were able to get it signed. And then, when we were trying to make some major decisions around some things, that created some issues. So for us, it is always going back to getting that agreement signed and, pushing to make sure that it happens right up front, and being really clear on, your role, your partner's responsibilities as well, and just have everything documented so that whenever you need to go back to it, you've got it there, and you're not in this place of ambiguity and not sure about what was expected. If you've got it documented, it's right there.
I think that's amazing advice. And it's probably one of the biggest mistakes I tend to see from investors. So it's not just you guys, but it's like a lot of people like that is they have a relationship, but get everything in writing. It's so crucial. Good, great lesson. And that's fantastic. So, you know what? I want to kind of wrap it up for today's session. And I want to thank you guys for jumping in here. But maybe for those that are maybe watching this for the first time, and, for a lot of people, they're on the Savvy Investor YouTube channel, they're wanting to learn. And there's no better experience than learning from other investors. From my perspective, is learning from that. You guys have been doing this a while. You've diversified in markets. You've diversified in strategies. Maybe final words of wisdom or success tips that you would like to share with some of your fellow investing peers that you would like to present to them. Any final words of wisdom?
Yeah, I would say, first and foremost, I would say make sure you educate yourself. So get out there, and whether it's done through networking or whether it's done through hiring a coach or taking courses or whatever it be, but understand what you're getting into. Yeah. And really educate yourself and dive in. If you're going to make this a career and have some pretty lofty goals, which most of us do, you really want to make sure that you spend the time on yourself and learning what you can and educate yourself. That would be one. The other one I would say would be building proper teams. And when I say proper teams, I don't mean, having the right people in place. It's having multiple of the right people in place. So for us, as an example, when we're renovating apartment buildings, you can't do it on your own. You can't do it with one contractor. You have to have multiple trades and contractors line up, because I can guarantee you timelines will never mesh. So if you have other people you can go to, you can get things done and continue to scale your business on a bigger size. So those would be two things that I would say would be good things to look at.
Yeah, and I would say a couple of other things is don't always follow the crowd. And, where everyone is going, try to get out in front of that. And so, we noticed that in our investing journey. We had started in New Brunswick, and Moncton started to become pretty hot. And it was at that time that we actually started looking elsewhere. So as everyone was coming in, it was like, okay, where else could there be opportunity? And that's when we started looking at Alberta. And I mean, obviously doing the due diligence, looking at the economic fundamentals, where's GDP, where's unemployment, all of those important things. But I think it is, don't always follow the crowd. Be looking for where is everyone going to go next. And I think that can really help you find some great opportunities. And then the last thing I would say is that you need to find partners, whether that be property managers, whether that be financial partners, whatever that looks like. But I think the partners that you find, you need to like them. And so make sure that you're able to have a relationship. If you do the speed dial and you're looking, it's like, oh, don't want to talk to that person, they maybe aren't the right partner for you. So I think you really need to find people that energize you, that you like being around. And those are the kind of people that you partner with and can make your real estate investing journey a whole lot better along the way.
That is great words of advice, guys. It's not always the person that's got $1 million and it's troublesome that you want to work with. So don't get so motivated with the money versus the person in itself, correct?
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
And then the only last thing I would say is just that, real estate investing, and particularly when you look on social media, it can look very glamorous and you see all the highs of everybody. And, we try to show both because there are days when it's like, oh, I'm having one of those down days. Something just didn't go the way you wanted it, but that's okay. Persevere, stick with it. There are going to be ups and downs and you're going to have those bad days, but just get back on the bike and keep riding, and the trajectory will always go up over time. You may have some, valleys that you go through, but overall it will go up. And so just stick with it, keep persevering. I think there's so many benefits to real estate investing long-term to help you achieve your goals. So keep at it.
Love it. Love it. Are you saying Kevin doesn't have a Lamborghini like they show on
No.
social media? I thought all real estate investors had one. Are you saying you guys don't have one?
No, not us.
Great words of wisdom. That's fantastic. Guys, I can't thank you guys enough for letting us creep inside the window of income stream and sharing a little bit about your investment journey. And again, for a lot of people that don't necessarily know about income stream, but if they want to know more about you guys, about Kevin and Nadine Russell and income stream, where's the best place to find you guys? Where do you want to?
If you can visit our Facebook page, Income Stream and REI, and you can kind of see all the projects we're doing and things that we're moving forward with. And we show, like Nadine said, the ups and downs. So, and of course, you can always email us too at incomestreamrei@gmail.com.
Love it. Great. And you know what, just to help out a little bit for those that are watching, just click on the description of this video and I'll make sure I add the link to their Facebook group or Facebook page as well, so you guys can always connect them as well. So Kevin, Nadine, I can't thank you guys enough for jumping on here, sharing a little bit about your guys' investment journey. And again, you guys are our first student spotlight. I couldn't ask for anybody better because you guys have just been amazing. So congratulations on your guys' success today. It's fantastic.
Thanks, Michael. We appreciate you having us.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. And not only do we appreciate having us on here, but also appreciate all your teaching and coaching along the way. Couldn't have done it without you, so thank you.
Oh, appreciate that. Thanks, guys. So as we kind of wrap things up, again, I want to thank everybody for watching Student Spotlight. Hopefully you guys found some value to this, learning from other people's experiences, which I think is always key. And as we kind of wrap it up, again, if you haven't done so already, do me a small little favor, hit that subscribe button, help us grow our Savvy Investor channel, and we'll keep you posted as upcoming videos become available as well. Last but not least, please post your questions or comments below, and I will make sure I'm able to answer them. If I can't answer them, I will make sure I send this over to Kevin and Nadine to get them answered as well, since they are doing amazing things, and I'm sure they'd be happy to answer questions as well. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. Make sure you check us out. Check out some of our other videos as well on our YouTube channel for further training and development. Thanks again, and we'll see you guys soon.